It's August, baby, and with that, welcome on to a new episode here of Winning Bets. We're going to talk some sports and talk some sports betting as well. Appreciate you guys kicking off another morning with me here. Feels so good hanging out with you guys. We got our breakfast, we got our sports. We can just sit back and have ourselves a good time. We are firmly in the month of August. August 1st, last month of summer. Let me know in the comment section what you're up to in this last month of summer. Any big plans you guys are going to go ahead and do with the remaining time that you have left in summer. Let's make sure we recap yesterday and then get on into today's MLB action. At the top of the hour, they were the Hockey Squirrel live at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, previewing today's MLB slate with the Hockey Squirrel. If we toss up the recap from yesterday, it was another rough day of going 1-3, I guess, in tennis, and then having the same results there in the MLB, also going 1-3. We did pick up one win there with Ramos. That was the win there in tennis. But otherwise, we dropped a couple money line plays. One of them was due to Medjevic, playing sick, playing under the weather. He toughed it out and gutted it out and got through the match. Didn't do us any favors by not bowing out. Clearly, visibly bothered by some form of illness. So tough one right there, and the over didn't hit. Expect a good classic, 3 sets or maybe even a tiebreaker. Yeah, it did not happen as that match went 2-0. Then on the MLB, Padres on the run line. Best bet of the day yesterday. That one loses 4-3 as the Rockies are able to get the win there in extra innings. Red Sox, favorite dog of the day. They go down 6-2 to the Mariners in a close game that got away from them a little bit late in the later half of those innings right there. Cubs F15 total under 2.5 runs. They were able to get 4 runs off of Andrew Abbott, so that bet goes down. They lose the game 6-5. The only win was one that we kind of talked our way through on the payoff pitch, and that's one of the great things about being on the payoff pitch is hearing how Squirrel is going to handicap games, how I handicap games, and sometimes we can put together some winners on the show, and that's exactly what we did. Over 9 runs to be scored there in the Guardians versus Astros game. Gets there in the 9th inning, 7-2 going into the 9th inning. There's no such thing as useless runs or meaningless runs. Now, all this stuff matters in the form of gambling. We're sitting there on the push, needing one more run to get a cash, and thankfully the Guardians come through for us, getting that all-important 3rd run and 10th run by giving the game 7-3. So start off the week down, much like last week, but I guess not as bad as last week. I tell you what, Tyler said something last week that he's absolutely spot on. For whatever reason, Mondays have just been rough, it seems like, for the better part of 2023. We'd like to have stats and trends in our betting. Next Monday, just go ahead and fade it. Whatever the hell I give out, just go ahead and fade it. I mean, for whatever reason, it seems to be a thing. I have no idea. There's no less work being put into Monday shows as opposed, to the other 4 days. I'm a little mystified like you guys are, but hey, you bet stats, you bet trends. Well, there's one. I suck on Mondays. Keep that in mind as you lock in your bets next Monday. So, all right, that's all I've got for today in terms of the recap. Again, we've got Payoff pitch live at the top of the hour. I've, of course, already tweeted out a couple plays there on Twitter. Alcantara under 6.5 Ks. I gave that bet out at -145. It's now -175. So hopefully the gambling gods can be good to us right there. The gambling gods were unkind to us yesterday with Griffin Canning under 16.5 outs. Remember, that got dropped to under 15.5 outs, but unfortunately he got scratched in that start due to some general soreness. So we didn't, our best play probably more generally speaking, didn't even get to happen, didn't even get to reward it for the hard work we put in yesterday. Also gave out Zach Greinke under 1.5 walks on Twitter at -135. That bet's now -150 over on DraftKings. But, of course, going back to the well there with Zach Greinke's where that bet is cashed in all but 3 of his games this season. Now he gets the Mets coming up. Don't have a high walk rate, so I'll look for Zach Greinke to stay under 1.5 walks. Got a couple more bets to add to it there on the payoff pitch. Again, that's at the top of the hour there at 11 a.m. But let me know, what the hell is y'all's best bet? What the hell is your best bet today? Let me know in the comment section what's your best bet today. Looking to bounce back, maybe. I'm actually getting fired up for a lot of things going on. Tim, morning, man. Bounce back day. Damn it. I'm tired of needing a bounce back day, but yes, we need a bounce back day. It'd be nice to not have to sit here and say, oh, bounce back day, but I hear you. Need a goddamn bounce back day. Look forward to making sure that happens. Alcantara and that Zach Greinke, I think those are 2 fantastic plays. Got another one to add to it on the payoff pitch. Looking to bounce back, and then no more bouncing back. Just going to stay on the uppity up there, Tim. That's the plan, my man. Gotta keep this thing riding. Just need to Just need to get out of the purgatory and get it out of the losing. And turn the corner right there. We've got Premier League coming up in a couple weeks. We got the NFL coming up in about a month. It's time to turn this shit around and start making some cash. Look forward to doing that with you guys. And look forward to kicking it off with you there, Tim. Let me know, what's your best bet, Tim? Best bet on the board, Tim. Let me know what it is. We had Nebraska in the comment section yesterday talking about Seth Lugo over 5.5 Ks at plus money. Congratulations there to Nebraska if you went ahead and ignored my advice and took that play. Obviously, you got a great cash. He pitched 7 innings and got 9 strikeouts. So that would have been a fantastic one and an easy no-sweat winner there at plus money. So good looks right there, Nebraska. Good looks right there. That was a nice little play. Sneaky little play. Obviously, we talked about how the Rockies don't have a high K percentage and the hit rate wasn't all that great. But that was a good spot. That was a nice one. Let's just win. Let's just win, baby. I am looking to win. I'm looking to win. I'll tell you guys right now, I don't know what inning I'm going to end up putting it in on the payoff pitch, but Pirates on the money line, minus 110 over on BetMGM. Go snag you some Pirates on the money line at minus 110 over on BetMGM. That'll be a bet I'll be talking about, justifying, and giving out there on the payoff pitch at the top of the hour. Pirates on the money line. Sorry, Pirates on the money line. Pirates on the money line. Pirates on the money line. Minus 110 over on BetMGM. Let's lock it in, boys. Lock it in, boys. Let's just win, baby. I mean, just plain and simple. Let's just win. Just win, baby. Just win. Just win. What's going on, fellas? What else we got going on? I've already started to look at Premier League Week 1. You got to start locking in bets. Now, obviously, you're not going to go gun-ho crazy because like we talked about, right? There's obviously no stats and no information to go off. You're trying to make predictions off of what happened last season and how teams improved in the transfer window and then making predictions. So you're not going to go gun-heavy, but that being said, also not going to pass up spots that are worth betting, like Brentford-Tottenham over 2.5. Brentford was an over 2.5 goals machine at home, and Tottenham was an over 2.5 goals home or away. Now those two teams team up. Tottenham's got the new manager that comes over. He's apparently an aggressive, offensive-minded manager. I don't know much about him. I didn't watch any of the league there in the Netherlands. I believe he came from, was it PSV? I think he comes from, if I'm recalling correctly on the top of my head. But just from reading reports about him, he's an aggressive manager. Great. They were already an over 2.5 team. Again, I just said how Brentford was over 2.5 at home. You wanted to take Brentford over 2.5 when they were at home. Brentford's at home. Tottenham's coming into town. Over 2.5 goals, minus 128 over on FanDuel. Best price. Go lock it in. Over 2.5 goals, Brentford versus Tottenham. Minus 128 over on FanDuel. I'm already going to be locking in a couple other Premier League bets as well. Let me pull up my notes. Again, we're previewing the Premier League on Thursday. Thursday is going to be a season-long preview, so won't be diving into the 10 matches on Week 1. Won't be giving out any bets. I know Matt will be giving out some future bets as well. He's got some tasty long shots that he's going to try and see if he can't maybe hit one of them, or all you need to do is hit one, obviously, to turn a profit. Let's see what else I got. I'll just drop it in the comment section. What the hell? Therefore, nobody can. I got that parlay cooked up. Arsenal -1, Man City -1. Arsenal's taking on Nottingham Forest at home at the Emirates. Forest, remember the story with them last season? You wanted to fade them on the road. Well, now you're going up against the second best team in the Premier League. And all Arsenal's done is get better in the transfer window, getting Declan Rice, British transfer record. They also go ahead and bring in Kai Havertz. They're looking really strong. And Forest, I don't see where they did anything to really improve, their defense. They don't have a goalkeeper right now because they haven't agreed on bringing back Dean Henderson on load. They're talking about bringing in Matt Turner permanently from Arsenal. Either way, they have not done anything to shore up that defense. So Arsenal -1 at home. At worst, they win, and that becomes a push if they only win by 1. But certainly expect Arsenal to win by more than 1. And Man City's taking on a newbie there, Burnley, on the road at Turf Moor. But I'm fine. City's, they feast on new teams in the Premier League. This is Burnley. This isn't the Sean Dice Burnley, of course. This is Vincent Kompany's Burnley team. City will get by them. The City's going to comfortably get by them. So that's a parlay right there. Plus 103 over on Bet Rivers. Lock that one in. I'm with Tyler. I'm ready for the Premier League. Absolutely ready. And then the other one there, I'll put it up on here. Brentford versus Tottenham over 2.5 minus 128 at FanDuel. We'll also roll with Brentford versus Tottenham over 2.5 goals minus 128 over at FanDuel. I've got a couple more. Of course, I've got a couple more. I'm going to probably have 4 or 5-ish bets on Premier League week number 1. Of course, yeah, just sitting here looking at the matches here, right here. Yeah, going to have a couple more. So look forward to previewing that. Ready for the Premier League, Tyler. I hear you, man. I hear you, man. I hear you. It's been, I'm actually quite disappointed and quite pissed off. Haven't just kind of turned it around with baseball, to be quite honest. So hopefully soccer and football can bring some better luck and some better fortunes. So kick it off, my man. But those are 2 bets I'll roll with right now. Brentford and Tottenham over 2.5, and Arsenal -1, Man City -1, +103. Obviously, if either one of those teams wins by 1, that leg is pushed, and now you got an extremely juicy parlay, but you still get some payout. But I expect both those teams to kind of not run it up. Man City's not going to run it up on Burnley. I don't know if you guys listen to press conferences, but Guardiola probably half a dozen times last season was asked about Vincent Kompany and what Burnley was doing in the championship, as it looked like they were going to be promoted to the Premier League. And then once they secured promotion, he was getting even more questions about it. He's tipped Vincent Kompany to be the next manager at Man City. He's been very vocal and outspoken about Vincent Kompany being the guy that replaces him at Man City. So they're not going to run it up on Burnley. I think he's not going to want to disrespect Vincent Kompany like that. They'll pull back the reins at some point. But that being said, he'll want at least a 2-goal cushion before he pulls back the reins. God forbid you get a last-minute goal and an equalizer to steal 2 points from you. So they'll still win by a 2-goal margin. It's just not going to be, it won't be like a 5-0, 6-1. It's not going to be a beatdown. Ain't going to do that to Vincent Kompany. Not going to do that to him. I hear you, man. I hear you. I'm really sorry. I'm really frustrated and really disappointed. And I'm really sorry. So hopefully soccer can be the ticket. I agree, man. I'm going to try and kick it off in week 1 of the Premier League, which starts next Friday. Burnley versus City on Friday. Burnley versus City on Friday. I hear you, man. I'm sorry. Not doing myself any favors, obviously. It's not like I'm making a paycheck somewhere else. So it's really crushing me right now. So just got to turn this shit around, simply put. I'm looking to do that. All right, let's go get ourselves Hockey Squirrel. There's a little Premier League talk right there, and a couple Premier League bets given out right there. Didn't quite know it was going to happen, but I love hanging out with you guys, so there we go. Let's go find ourselves a Hockey Squirrel. Let's see what he thinks about this Tuesday MLB slate. I've already got 3 bets. Alcantara under 6.5 Ks, Greinke under 1.5 walks, and Pirates money line. Find out what else I've got on the Payoff pitch live at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. I'll be back with you guys in a second. Let's have ourselves a day, fellas. Hey there, everybody. Welcome on into today's episode here of the Payoff Pitch, where we're live every single day at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, previewing today's MLB slate with the Hockey Squirrel. I'm Jason. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. Powered by Bet Openly, a fantastic sports book. Hop on over there and check them out, where you win more and lose less with Bet Openly. Squirrel, what's going on, man?
Hey, not too much. I'm glad I laid off a lot of stuff yesterday. It turned out to be a weird-ass day. With the teams we expected to win, not winning. And I'm glad that I played light volume yesterday. Only ended up on a couple of things, and whatever. Had a hockey game, and just kind of got through the rest of that month. We're now on August 1st, so hey, I'm not wishing baseball away, I tell you that, but I am very much looking forward to the volume required to win at the level that you need to in order to make some kind of income that's large enough that makes it worth doing this. If you remember November, December, and February, I was making about 30, 35 units per month in those months. And that was due to the college basketball volume, the college football. We had NHL, you have NBA, plus all the props and everything. You just can't get that kind of volume in just baseball or just WNBA. I did hit, I believe, 60% in WNBA throughout the month of July, and I have so much baseball data. I think I'm really going to do well here in August and September, and finish out baseball strong. So I'm feeling very confident. Really, really want to stay consistent with giving out my own kind of platform and social media and such, or sending those newsletters. I start something and then I don't stick with it, and it bothers me. It bothers me very much. That is something I want to do, and I'm really, really going to do my best to stick to it. So that starts today, August 1st. Let's get some units going here, man.
Let's get some units going. You may not have given out too many official bets yesterday, but I thought your leans were great. Under 8.5 in Phillies Marlins ended up cashing. Under 8.5 in Rays Yankees cash. So you still give out a lot of great nuggets here on this show. We appreciate that. Let's see what you got cooked up for us today. Let's jump right on into Around the Bases, where we take a couple games, we break them down. How do you want to kick it off?
Well, this bet I don't believe is immediately apparent that this would be the side. I tried kind of looking yesterday at the Phillies and Marlins, and I had told you I would lean the Marlins if I were to make a bet. Here, my only official thing was the Cleveland Guardians at the time that we left the show. And I ended up adding the Philadelphia Phillies yesterday and got the win 4-2. Okay. I went against what I thought initially. and today, however, it does make a lot more sense to take the Phillies. I'll tell you why. If you use that Swish Analytics page to analyze the batters and hitters, whose name comes up consistently, it's Sandy Alcantara right on down the board. We know that Alcantara has not been your kind of vintage Alcantara, I guess, if you want to call it that. I mean, it's not that long ago that he was, running 7, 8, 9 innings down every team's throat. And he just did it in his last start. He went a full 9 innings, but it was against a shitty Tampa Bay Rays team that cannot hit anything. The high strikeout rates right now, these teams go through slumps. This is one of them. And the Marlins are in a slump of their own. They're not hitting anything. You look back at the last few weeks, very, very little runs, 30 runs maybe in the last 2 weeks. It's bottom of the board. Hard for me to trust an offense that doesn't have anything going. Hard for me to trust Alcantara right now in current form, and everybody's teeing off on him or has tons of familiarity. Trey Turner, Bryce Harper, Real Muto, Schwarber, Alec Boehm, right on down the list. So at a plus 120, it doesn't really make a hell of a lot of sense to me, to be on the Marlins. So I will take the away team here again and hope that they get back-to-back wins coming off last night. So I'm on the Philadelphia Phillies to start the day here today on the money line.
What about within that game in terms of an over-under? I see it's at 7.5, which looks a little low to me. I would certainly be more interested in the over in that game. You brought up Alcantara and some of his struggles. He seems to be struggling in one inning. You mentioned some of those batting averages. I'm sure we'll get to it, whether it's in keep swinging or maybe shut up and pitch. But just to highlight a couple of them, Turner's hitting 394, Schwarber's hitting 281, Harper's 306, Castellanos is 333. There's some other ones in there as well that are hitting well over 280. Everybody seems to have a great batting average in this lineup off Alcantara. Then you add in the Marlins are facing a left-hander today in Ranger Suarez, who they just saw not too long ago and pretty successful off of him, and the left-handed splits are actually their more their better hitting side is against left-handers. So I think this game is going to go over 7.5, and think it'll probably go over 7.5 relatively easy. Where did you fall on the over while you like the Phillies?
I didn't, but just from an opinion basis, it would make sense. I think Alcantara certainly gets hit for 3, 4, 5. And you're already over halfway there. It's not like the Marlins probably won't get anything. It's a low total for sure. Probably largely due to the offense of the Marlins, due to the name of Alcantara, perhaps, but certainly isn't the stats of Alcantara. I can't imagine. So whatever it is causing the low line, I don't think I would end up on an under. It doesn't make a hell of a lot of sense if I'm analyzing it.
I will say I've been watching this pretty closely because I've been considering taking a chance at the over. It was at minus 108. Now it's at minus 120, which we know when you see minus 120, rather than it go up any higher, you normally go up a numerical value. So we're pretty close. The over is being bet, and it's pretty close to probably becoming an over 8 soon. So if you're interested, I would probably grab that 7.5. It doesn't look like the 7.5, so will be lasting, having monitored it for the past couple hours.
Hey, who did the Giants end up getting yesterday as a starter? Because now I'm seeing Alex Cobb today, so he must not have gone.
No, Cobb didn't go. They did. To your point, he is going today. I can't remember, but no, Cobb is going.
Probably
today.
Doesn't matter, but I'm just now, and this is maybe to attest to how many more games there are than yesterday. I'm just now realizing that Zach Gallen's pitching for the Diamondbacks. That's of interest. I don't know what the price is, though. I'm going to look at that. Will you talk about your next game?
Okay, yeah. I'm seeing Junis started. They did Alex Wood for a couple innings, and then they just threw a bunch of bullpen guys for an inning apiece. So that's how they got.
Wow, it's a coin flip 100-100 game with Gallen on the mound today against Cobb. I don't know about that. might be of interest there to take the Diamondbacks later.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a game worth bringing up for sure at some point.
Maybe a steal. Warning.
Let's talk about Tigers and Pirates. I'm going to be interested in the Pirates on the money line, which you can get at minus 110. You've got two teams facing off today against right-handers, where the Pirates have a pretty good batting average, 241 up against 229 of the Tigers. I also slug it better than the Tigers. I have a better weighted runs created at 113 versus 91. My OPS is better at 795 versus 655. So I get the better offense versus right-handers. We know, generally speaking, the Tigers are going to struggle versus right-handers, so you have that season-long narrative on your side as well. And then the bullpen edges also favor the Pirates in this one. 177 opponent's batting average versus a 312 of the Tigers, a 1.06 whip versus 1.64 of the Tigers, a 3.55 FIP versus 5.26 for the Tigers, and a 2.18 ERA versus 6.81 there for the Tigers. So I'm getting the better offense. I'm getting the better bullpen. Comes down to a starter, Oviedo, taking on Manning here. Look at their back of their baseball card. The whip's pretty close. ERA's pretty close. Opponent's batting average. It's all really close. If you wanted to make a case that Manning is slightly better, probably can't disagree. But then I would say that it would be countered by the Pirates having better hitting stats than the Tigers versus right-handers. So at minus 110, a coin flip game. I know this doesn't look like a coin flip game to me with the advantages I'm getting from hitting and bullpen. So I'll take the Pirates today at minus 110.
Gotcha. Cool.
Another game for you, or are we time to shut up?
We can do either. I don't know if there's a huge advantage here. It's just probably more of a data projection thing than anything. I ended up on the money line of the Mariners today with Bryce Miller. He looks pretty sick from a statistic standpoint with a flat 1 whip rating, 3.9 ERA. 75 innings pitched. The dude seems legit. Going against Brayan Bello there, and in a lot of ways, I think this does seem a little bit coin flippy from like team statistics in the last few weeks. So I think I was just giving the edge to the home ballpark and the starting pitcher being this for this minus 110.
Okay, so you like the Mariners at -110 over the Red Sox today. All right, let's shut up
Right.
and
Yep.
let's give these guys some pitching props today. Let's do it and shut up and pitch. I'll kick it off. We've already talked about Phillies Marlins. I've tweeted Alcantara under 6.5 Ks, where he stayed under in 15 of his 21 starts. He stayed under in both starts versus the Phillies this season. And we just talked about this prop about a month ago when it was at over under a 5.5 Ks. And on that day, it was a lean of under 5.5 Ks, and that would have cashed on the hook. Because we've talked about it, right? 5 times versus the Phillies last season, stayed under in 4 of the 5 games last season. We mentioned Turner's 394, Harper's 306, Realmuto's 286, Schwarber's 281, Baum is 348, Castellanos is 333, and Marsh is 313. Like, who isn't have a fantastic batting average against Alcantara? I mean, it looks like all 9 guys just fucking crush him. So the guy that stayed under, we literally talked about this prop a month ago, justified it, it hit. Now, just because he's on a little bit better of a roll, they've bumped it up to 6.5. But the Phillies have the same K percentage back then when they did a month ago. It was 24% then. It's 25.2% now. You're getting really a bad batting average for the Phillies at 204 right now. But just saw him a month ago. He's going under 6.5 Ks. I'm telling you right now. It's just happened too much in this matchup head-to-head. So I'll take under 6.5 Ks.
Sure. Speaking of 6.5 Ks, then I'm looking at. I was just looking. I guess
Strider.
No. I was looking back through Zach Gallen's strikeout props because I see that the Giants have a fairly high strikeout rate recently. Anyway, just over 26%. That puts them about 7th in the last few weeks here. So I was just looking to see how often has Gallen gone over 6.5. He did it in his last start, and he did it once against the Angels, which would make a hell of a lot of sense. The teams he didn't do it against would be Atlanta Braves, again, making sense, I think, anyway. Toronto Blue Jays, etc. He's capable of running up 7 to 11, 7 to a dozen strikeouts. So I think that one certainly makes sense here, and I'm trying to make sense of different aspects of the game. So that, I think I would want to back the Diamondbacks here. I know one game was a little bit of a screw up deal with that stupid pitch com thing, because he puts it on the back of his glove here on his wrist, and Velcro was holding it. So as he was winding up and throwing, the thing would, it'd fall off. And that probably happened, 4, 5, 6 different times while he was pitching, which really could be a visual distraction to the batters. But, there was a lot of frustration and weirdness with that. So that start was kind of, a bit of a frustrating one, I think, for him when I watched it. That might have been that Braves game. But yeah, he got 8 last game against the Cardinals, and I know I was on his over on the last game. So I think, what is it? Slight plus money, or maybe around even odds. I think I would go over the plus 122 for over 6.5. I could not recommend paying minus 190 for over 5.5. So
what's the what's the player?
Zach Gallen.
Oh, Gallen. Okay, over 6.5 K, Zach Gallen. Yeah, you got to your minus 5 point, or you're over 5.5 at minus 185. Yeah, that's super juicy. So you like the plus money angle right there. Okay, I joked about Strider. Charlie Morton got over his K prop like we talked about, so he got up over 7.5. They strike out a ton. Mm-hmm. This should be a good spot for Strider, but they're asking you minus 145, which is a little too ridiculous. Hit double digit in strikeout, so we'll probably be avoiding that one. One I can avoid, though, is Zach Greinke under 1.5 walks, where it's cash in all but three starts. All but 3 starts it's gotten the cash. Mets don't have a high walk rate, but they do have a high batting average and a good weighted runs created. I think they'll get to Zach Greinke. Don't think he'll go more than 5 innings, because he's not going to do that in any other start, so I do it today. I think Zach Greinke is going to stay under 1.5 walks today, so I'll go ahead and bet him accordingly at minus 135. Any other ones for you? I think
my favorite pitching prop for the day is going to be Miles Mikolas, or Mikolas, however the hell you pronounce this man's name. I think we've been butchering it the whole year. I was playing MLB The Show yesterday, and his name came up, and the announcer said Mikolas. So if we're going officially by the MLB The Show 23, then it's Michaelis. So, hey, this makes a hell of a lot of sense, though. The Twins cannot stop striking out. It's been weeks, and they've been just stuck at number one over 30%. Absolutely ridiculous. Michaelis then over 4.5. It makes a hell of a lot of sense. And in terms of being the best projection, in terms of being the thing that makes the most sense as to going against the opponent that he is, over 4.5 for me, and that's exactly even money.
Yeah, that one's at even money. I gave that one a good hard look. I didn't quite like the hit rate through at his game log, but it's an absolutely fantastic spot. He should be well rested after only throwing like 10 pitches.
Well, I've watched enough Twins games that you can whip one in the dirt and they're just like they just wave at it.
Right. Oh, I like that play. I almost added that one. I like it. Over 4.5 even money. Good stuff right there. Let's go to long shots, fourth inning. Try to find some plus money bets out there.
I got a pair of nice ones, man.
That's what she said. Go first. Nice one, right. I'm going to take the Nationals over the Brewers. Nationals are the Brewers.
Yeah, me too.
Bullpen. You're on too? Yeah.
Oh, yes, sir. Yeah. I got a pair of plus 150s, and this is one of them. So.
Okay. I got it at plus 136. I didn't quite get it at plus 150, but I'm getting the better offense versus right-handers. I'm getting the better bullpen overall, and Gray versus Peralta. So, yeah, sign me up for the Nationals because I get the other advantages. So that was my
the only thing you have to worry about here is the bullpen. It's not the offense. You're not taking them for the bullpen. That's literally it. Is you have to worry that probably in the later innings, I don't worry too much about the starter, but if you take the lead, you're going to be clenching your ass cheeks in the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning, probably trying to get out of there with that win. But hey, for the plus 150, man, that's again, like I took the Guardians yesterday. It didn't win. They hopped out to a little lead, but it's just too much. It's just too much for what you're getting.
I mean, you say that, and certainly don't disagree with the narrative of the Nationals bullpen, but their ERA is almost 3 points better, than the Brewers. Their FIP is almost 2 points better. Their WHIP is better. Opponent's batting average is better. It's all better out of the bullpen. So I certainly agree with you, but at least comparing them head to head, they're better. Yeah, Nationals plus 150. What was your other dog then?
The other one that I'm looking at grabbing is the Reds, and they topped the Cubs yesterday by a run. I think they're Justin Steele's no easy opponent, but geez, they're fairly close. I think Cubs are number one in runs, and Reds are number 3. So you're going to slap a plus 150 on there, and I think the bullpens are fairly close from what I could tell. I certainly don't think that it's that worthy of that large of underdog odds. So you're getting much closer to a coin flip, other than the Chicago Cubs having home field advantage. But that's pretty much about it. And Justin Steele, I would say, edges out. He is the better starter, no question. But those are the only things I can really come up with, because Reds should be able to keep up just like they did yesterday. I think that's a fantastic matchup. I don't see really anything lopsided too much in this.
Yeah, and within that matchup, I would think I'm leaning more towards like the Cubs team total. This is still the number one hitting team versus right-handed pitching. Their batting average is number one. Their weighted runs created is number one, and they have the 4th best OPS versus right-handers over the last 10 days. Ben Lively's really not all that good. I just don't know, what the Reds will do against Steele, and then maybe what the overall game was. I kind of like the Cubs team total in that game, really expecting their right-handed hitting to show up today against Ben Lively. So, all right, go Reds, go Nationals. See if we can't get some dogs to hit. 5th inning, we call it keep swinging. We like to give you guys some hitting props every single day. I've got a couple, and then I've got something extra for you guys, and keep swinging. So first, let's see if the Squirrels got anything. Yeah.
The entire Philadelphia Phillies team to get hits, all of them to get home runs, every one of them, and RBIs.
They're all
I'm
hitting.
just kidding.
Those batting
but no, seriously, though, that's exactly where you'd want to look, though. If you're really looking for people to get hits, the Phillies is, that's the team to stack probably. Other than that, it would appear there's some Blue Jays, your typical ones that you would expect, your George Springer, Alejandro Kirk, Guerrero, Bichette, all against Kyle Bradish there as well, look pretty decent on the board.
Okay, within that same game, Santander, I think for the Orioles, is pretty good. He's 5 for 15.
Santander?
Yeah, he's 5 for 15 against Rui. A K, 2 doubles, and a home run. I also like Tyler Stevenson. You mentioned the Reds. Well, Tyler Stevenson, he's got some good numbers off Justin Steele, where he's 5 for 7 off Justin Steele, so like him as well. There's a couple of guys I would count on today to get a hit. Now let's talk about a guy in which yesterday I took this prop. It was a personal play. It went ahead and cashed. And the reason I played it yesterday is I've been kind of like following this and looking at the hit rate versus what the odds are. I was like, all right, yesterday I felt comfortable like I would take my first chance. Today they're giving you the same bet today at plus money. It's Shohei Ohtani to draw at least one walk, 1+ walk. Starting to like that. You saw what the Braves did in the second inning yesterday. It cashed because they intentionally walked him, but there was a runner on second, open first base. Let's put him on. Not going to let him knock in the guy on second base. You also saw what he did in the ninth inning. So you know the Braves were doing it early, right? And late, while there wasn't an open base at first base, you saw what happened. He hit a home run, but yet it was robbed by Michael Harris. This is the Braves team that's going to be awfully cautious with him, I think. He's gotten a walk in July in 14 of his 24 games. So that's a hit rate where if you're giving it to me today at plus money, at plus 110 over at DraftKings, this is going to be a profitable bet long term. Strider, though, he's had 1+ walk in 17 of his 21 starts and 2+ walks in 11 of his 21 starts. So I like Shohei Ohtani, the way teams have been pitching to him over the course of July, to have at least one walk in today's game at plus 110 over on DraftKings. All right, sixth inning, it's a steal. I'll give you my nerf of the day. First, let's hear what Squirrel's got.
I'm just looking through the stats comparing the Giants to the Diamondbacks. I don't get what the hell. I mean, so you're giving me Gallen and an offense that's way above. I mean, the batting averages are dead last for the Giants. They're not bringing in very many runs recently, anyway. Not comparatively to Arizona, who's in ninth for runs. Giants are right down there with basically the Miami Marlins, 42 runs. And then to give me Gallen, I don't know. I would have to say that's a steal. I don't see why. Maybe the bullpen, right? Arizona's number one in giving up runs. That it? Maybe just take a first 5 then. Just go first 5. Let's do that. Let's say best bet, or no, not best bet. Steal. It's a steal. To take first 5. I wonder what the price is here then.
First 5.
Sorry to be doing this live on you, but
no, we love doing this stuff live. Hey, we talked our way into
like
a winner yesterday, and that over.
Yeah, minus 110, minus 115. Minus 110 to minus 115. You add that first 5 on the Arizona Diamondbacks. That shit doesn't even make sense. I don't think that's appropriately priced in any means.
You're interested in the money line where you can get a push, right? Not the run line through the first 5?
Right, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. I mean, certainly, can't argue. I mean, two guys that were in the All-Star game. That's a low total. Cobb's having a hell of a year. Gallen is generally a pretty strong pitcher. So, yeah, I hear you. And you're certainly getting the better offense. Giants are hitting .213 versus right-handers, really scuffling.
And if you don't have to deal with the only reason why, I mean, for the same price, for minus 110 or minus 115, why the hell would you include the worst bullpen right now in terms of giving up runs? Just backs it Gallen. I mean, that's what you want. You want Gallen, and you want that offense because the Giants certainly aren't getting it done. They strike out and they don't bring in hardly any runs. That's a great bet if I've ever seen one.
I'm looking it up, seeing what a couple other places want to offer you for it. I think, I hear you. Hell, I got to keep talking my way through this because yesterday we talked our way through a winner, like as I mentioned, in Guardians Astros, and there was the only goddamn win on my card last night. So see if I can talk myself in. Let me see if I can talk myself into another winner here real quick. I hear you, man. I hear you. I think Gallen went up against Giants. Sorry, did Cobb face the Diamondbacks earlier this season? Because I think he actually dominated the Diamondbacks, if I recall. I think he went like 6 or 7 innings. Yeah, he went 7.1 innings, gave up 0 runs. The dude is having, it's the reason why he was in the All-Star game. Fantastic numbers. Yeah, went 7.1 innings, didn't even give up a run. Meanwhile, Gallen faced the Giants during that same series, different game. He also had a nice outing, 7.2 innings. He only gave up 2 runs in his own right. Both teams won the game. Both teams won.
Holy shit. Hold on. Dude, I see a book that I can grab the Phillies right now. It lied to me.
What are you getting? Tell us.
I got lied to. I thought I was about to get the Phillies at plus 131, but it's not the case. It's not true. I was lied to. I was deceived, and I'm upset now.
Okay. All right. I'll have to keep considering that one right there. All right. I'm going to give out my NRFI of the day, which comes to us. Well, first of all, if you don't mind juicing a NRFI, which I don't like paying high juice on a NRFI, you could do a D-backs Giants, right? We've talked about this pitching matchup. You know, one of these offenses is struggling in the Giants. It's minus 150, though. I'm not paying minus 150 for a NRFI. What I will pay, though, is even money for a NRFI, and that's Tigers versus the Pirates. Tigers versus the Pirates gets the bet there for the NRFI of the day at even money. Matt Manning, 8 starts, 1 run, 8 Ks, a 1.13 whip, and a 179 opponent's batting average. Oviedo's got some rough numbers. 21 starts, 18 earned runs, 17 Ks, and a 1.1 whip, and a 2.299 opponent's batting average. Tigers, NRFI percent is 76. The Pirates' NRFI percent is 77. That ranks 25th and 28th worst in the Major League. Even money, that's my NRFI. Tigers, Pirates, NRFI of the day. 7th inning, that's where we give out our best bet of the day, though, coming to a stretch. What's your best bet today?
I think I'll go with plus money. I'll take the Phillies because it's too hard for me to ignore the batters against Alcantara and the fact that he's struggling and the bad offense of the Marlins right now anyway. I certainly wouldn't say they have bad players, but something's going on there. It's got to be my best bet today is the Philadelphia Phillies.
The Keystone State is going to represent our best bets today then, because I'm on the Pirates as my best bet today. So let's go Keystone State. Let's get the Phillies Pirates. Go ahead and cash Pirates money line minus 110 up against the Tigers.
Hell yeah.
Is your best bet today. We like to give you a parlay every day. My parlay yesterday, no, it didn't hit. Braves didn't come through. I was
both sides of mine lost yesterday. I had the Braves and the Padres, and they both got toasted. But I'm glad I didn't actually bet stuff like that. You know what I mean?
They didn't do anything off Austin Gomber. Shit, he went 6 strong. Only gave up 1 run. They didn't do a damn thing off. Did you see the very first inning? Did you see that play by Juan Soto and his piss poor attempt to catch a baseball and not even be able to block it? Like, this is comical. You give out your parlay. I'm gonna see if I can find it because this is where it's showing here. Hold on. I mean, this is a real piss-poor attempt at catching a baseball.
Yeah, here's a game we never talked about, actually. I guess probably because there aren't a ton of lines, and I don't – well, it would have to be Michaelis then. But Pablo Lopez is pitching today for the Twins. It might not be the worst spot to take the Twins, but, I mean, they strike out at such a high rate. I still think Michaelis gets over that, the 4.5. I'm just looking for other things. I would probably, if I'm building a parlay, I'm going to be back on the Braves today, especially with Strider against Sandoval. Just looking for what I want my other side to be. Even the Nationals frickin' won yesterday against the Brewers. All the large favorites kind of got toasted yesterday. It would seem.
Yeah. All right. I think I got the video. Hold on. Let me pull it up here. This is great for anybody who hasn't seen it. I want to make sure they're included. Oh, yeah, that was a rain delay in that game. I'm not saying the rain delay was the reason I lost the bet. I wouldn't blame it on weather. They deemed it was good enough to be played. So here we go. Let's see. This is really worth showing. All right, I'm going to share my screen. I know they're going to show this bum. I'm telling you, Squirrel, you got to see this. It is laughable. Oh, yeah, here it is. They are going to show it in this highlight clip. All right. Share the screen. Check this out, everybody. Check out this great, fantastic play by Juan Soto yesterday. All right. Everybody can see the screen. Let's pop this up.
Yeah.
All right. So watch this. Watch this piss poor attempt.
This ball is sliced to left center. And it's misjudged by Soto. Goes all the way to the wall. Grisham will have to retrieve the baseball. And it'll go as...
Look at did he just like... What?
Center. And it's misjudged by Soto. Goes all the way to the wall. Grisham will...
Yeah, that's...
really bad. That's bad.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it was poor.
He just, collapsed.
Yeah. I mean, you can't let that ball go by you. Come on. That ball cannot get by you right there. All right. My parlay today in double play. I'm taking the Braves on the money line. They're taking on the left-hander there and Patrick Sandoval. It's a shame. shame that we have to go to bed at some time every day because his outs line opened at 17.5. If I would have been able to see that, I would have grabbed it. That was now 15.5. It's dropped 2 whole outs. That is an absolute great play. Braves are great versus left-handers. They should send him packing early. And the Angels are going to strike out a ton versus Strider. They're not going to get much damage done off them. So I like that. And I would parlay that with another over, just like we parlayed it with an over yesterday. Phillies Marlins over 7.5. Phillies Marlins over 7.5 plus 165 if you parlay that with the Braves money line. Let's throw out these bets here on the screen. Then let's talk about everything from money line, run line, and over/under perspective. As of now, I've just got 3 bets. I've got the Alcantara play, the Greinke play, and the Pirates money line there for just 3 plays right there. Squirrel, what did you got? Well, I get into this for rapid fire.
Well, as I told you, for sure, I really like the Phillies, obviously being my best bet. I got that pair of 150s. I think the Nationals and Reds are both fantastic plays as well. And that Nicholas makes a lot of sense for the Twins there. So Cardinals pitcher there to go over 4.5 Ks, and that's even money. So that's all plus money for you there. So hopefully that's a big day and a big start to August for whoever's still out here.
Yes, sir. Going 3-0 today. Cannot wait to go 3-0 today. Phillies and Marlins. Let's kick off rapid fire with an over-under of 7.5 plus 110 for the Phillies. Marlins coming in at minus 130. I like the over with the way Marlins hit left-handers. I'm not interested in picking a winner. I like the over.
In the Phillies and Marlins, yeah, it makes sense. I like the Phillies more than an over, but if I had to pick a total, it would be the over, yes.
Rays and Yankees over under of 8, minus 115 for the Rays. Yankees coming in at minus 105. Eflin up against Rodon. I'll go back to an under here. I would go back to an under.
I would as well. I think it's very, very difficult to pick a winner in this one just because of who you have on the mound. Both guys can go off. Either one can go off. I don't really have interest in picking winners, so I'll go back to the under like I did yesterday.
It'll be interesting to see what the Rays do against Carlos Rodon in the last 10 days versus left-handers. They've only have 11 plate appearances, so they've obviously not seen a left-hander in a long time. Perhaps that'll help Carlos Rodon and maybe keep the game low scoring. We'll see. Brewers and Nationals over under of 8.5, minus 162 for the Brewers. Nationals plus 136. I'll just stick to Nationals being the dog of the day. I get all the advantages.
Absolutely.
So.
Yep. Makes sense to me, man.
Tigers and Pirates over under of 9, plus 105 for the Tigers. Pirates minus 125. I would take the under just with these 2 teams. I would take an under, but of course I like the Pirates so to win the game.
I'll back the Pirates with you. It's not a game that I dove too heavily into, but based on your analysis and whatnot, I will go with that.
Orioles and Blue Jays over under of 8.5, minus 108 for Orioles. Blue Jays minus 112. You get Rui making his season debut. That's a guy I remember was on the Dodgers for a long period of time. Now he comes over to Toronto, although to be fair, I think he was actually in Toronto last year too. Anyway,
it's a name I haven't seen for a long time.
Yeah, he's obviously working his way back from some injury of some kind. Couldn't tell you what he hurt.
Right. With the you remember in our keep swinging inning. The Blue Jays had some good numbers there against Kyle Bradish as well. And Ryu is a name I have not seen for a while. So it will limit familiarity for the Orioles as well, at least. I would think, if they haven't seen him at all, and most teams haven't. So, yeah, I guess I'll take the Jays there on a coin flippy odds, but I certainly don't think it's a coin flip. I would lean Jays. You're getting home field advantage as well. Seems good to me.
Here's another one where I'm just going to take the over. I like the way the Orioles hit left-handers. Got a lot of great familiarity with the Blue Jays up against Bradish. Bullpen and the Orioles that are struggling. I'm going to take the over 8.5. And while we're here for a second, give you guys an overnight line because you got Kikuchi going on the mound tomorrow. He rarely goes deep into games. If you see a 16.5 or a 17.5 outs tonight, go ahead and grab it as long as you get some good odds on that. Orioles are too good versus left-handers, and they really know Kikuchi. Rui is maybe a little bit of a surprise tonight. Nothing's going to surprise them tomorrow with Kikuchi. And then I also like when teams get left-handers back-to-back because the guy that comes off the bench to platoon can now get consecutive days, and he'll even be more successful that second day when he's been sitting on the bench as opposed to the first one. So keep an eye on for Kikuchi and his out props tomorrow. Be interested in that line. Angels and Braves with an over-under of 9. Angels plus 205. Braves minus 250. Strider up against Sandoval. It's Braves on the run line. Good bounce-back spot with the left-hander of Sandoval on the mound today.
Yeah, no question. Yeah, I'll take a run line spot on the Braves.
Twins and Cardinals over-under of 8.5. Twins minus 120. Cardinals even money. I don't know why I didn't bet Twins money line. I mean, I'm getting.
I don't either. I skipped
it.
I'm
getting bullpen advantages. I'm getting the better starter in Lopez. I haven't pulled the trigger yet. Maybe I get around to it, but Twins money line.
I've got the same thoughts. I've got the same thoughts for sure. Yeah, I like the Twins money line. I'd still stick with the Michaelis over 4.5 though. I mean, the Twins can win and still strike out 5 times. They're going to. I mean, that's with their stat line in that category. That just
like the play, man. Happen. I like it. Over under of 9 between the White Sox and Rangers. White Sox plus 170. Rangers minus 205.
Probably an over, I think. Heaney, I don't think is all that great. We just talked about yesterday how he sucks and everything because they were upgrading that rotation in the Rangers by getting those trades for Scherzer and Montgomery, right? Schultz, I'm not too familiar with, but I would think it's probably an overplay at 9.
Yeah, I'll come along for over 9 and Rangers run line. Rangers run line and over 9. Reds and Cubs, over-under of 8.5, plus 140 for the Reds. Cubs minus 166. I'm just going to take the over here and not pick a winner. I like over 8.5 in this matchup.
Do you understand why I'm on the Reds, though? I mean, do you think that's a good price at plus 150 for what you're getting? I mean, I think it's certainly closer than 40%. that would be your implied probability at plus 150. I mean, it's certainly doable. They did it yesterday. It's like first versus third offense right now in current form. Cubs have home field advantage, and Justin Steele's a bit better as a starter.
A bit better. True. I'm gonna stick to the over or maybe the Cubs team total, but I hear you. I'd rather be with more than an over than a side in that game. So. Yeah, I'll take it over 8.5.
I mean, I don't think, in terms of the numbers, seriously, I don't think it's that ridiculously far off. 1.21 whip for Lively and a 1.12 whip for Steele. Mm-hmm. The ERAs are about one apart, which is larger than the whip ratings. But, I mean, dude, it's not like Austin Gomber bad or something. I mean, it's not like really, really far apart. For 150, you just have to really sit down like, is this too much? And I certainly think it is, and much like the Nationals.
Let's get it. Let's get the Reds to get the victory today and an over. Love it. Guardians and Astros, over under of 8.5, plus 154 for the Guardians. Astros minus 185.
Yesterday I took the Guardians. I want no part today, really. Not really, no.
I tell you can't blame Syndergaard, man. God damn, pitched his ass off. He only gave up 1 run through basically 6 innings. Gave you.
I know. I don't. I got what I wanted, and I was happy at the beginning of the game. I think there was a 3-0 lead or 2-0 for sure. Blew it, but oh well. It's yesterday. That's last month, dude. That's last month.
That's last month, right? So long ago. Last month.
I think
I'm going under. I'm going under 8.
I was gonna say over. Damn. Okay. Well, we'll go against each other. I'll go over.
Okay.
At 8.5, I guess.
Mets and Royals, over under of 9.5, minus 155 for the Mets. Royals plus 130. Over 9.5 for me. I would only really bet the Royals at plus 130. I wouldn't do the Mets at minus 155.
I was gonna say that too. Yeah.
Definitely not doing
that. Yeah, I think I would back the Royals.
Red Sox and Mariners, even money for the Red Sox. Mariners minus 120 with an over-under of 8. I'm just going to keep going back to the Red Sox. I obviously decided not to bet it today, but it looks good.
So I like the Mariners, as I told you in the first inning. However, I'm going to grab that like right now. It's actually, as we're talking about it, it's on the move. It's going to minus 120. So
yeah, I got minus 120 here on DraftKings.
I'm able to get minus 108 right now.
Okay. Minus 108
That's
for the Mariners
fantastic.
money line. Good. And you like the Diamondbacks at minus 115 up against the Giants at minus 105 with an over-under of 7.5. Yeah, I mean, the stats look really good for an under there. I would obviously just do the F5 under and avoid that Diamondbacks bullpen, kind of like how you're doing the F5 money line. I'm going to do Diamondbacks, though. All the good arms were used yesterday in an extra inning affair. I don't know. I'm taking the over. Good arms were used yesterday on both teams in a high leverage game and extra. Give me the over, and I'll take the Diamondbacks.
I love the Diamondbacks in the first 5.
Yes. Okay. All right. That is all the games. I'm just looking ahead. I want to see if there's anything else like a kind of a Kikuchi thing because really upset. We missed out on that Sandoval outs prop. It opened at 17. It's now at 15.5. Hate when that kind of stuff happens. We miss out on good plays. So let's see. Tomorrow you get Kikuchi. I think that's going to be another good angle. Our best play yesterday, Griffin Canning, unfortunately didn't happen. Let's see who else is going tomorrow.
Don't you hate that? You put in all the work, and then it gets rained out or something, or they swap pitchers or some shit.
Sore.
It just doesn't happen. It's like, really, man?
Yeah, he was sore.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, just looking. Oh man, I think the Dodgers are actually doing it. Actually, you say that, and then it's the Oakland Athletics, and they're going to keep doing the same shit that they keep doing to me, burning me, which is telling you they're throwing a starter, and then they don't throw a starter, and then they throw a bullpen guy for an inning to 2 innings, and then your whole bet's screwed. So probably won't be betting the Giants tomorrow or Dodgers, even though they crush left-handers. Bet Hogan Harris doesn't start the game. They've been doing that way too much lately. Oh, yeah, other than else, that I don't see any. I'm telling you, that Kikuchi one, but I'm pull this up. Let's see. That's got to be the best play tomorrow. I mean, all over that.
It was kind of wild yesterday.
4.2. Yeah, he's already seen the Orioles twice, and when 4.2 innings pitched in each game, he just got overworked. Too many hits, too many walks. Be on the lookout for that Kikuchi prop tonight, fellas. Under 15.5 outs. If you get some good odds associated to it, let's go ahead and take a stab at that one tomorrow. All right, that'll be
2 things before we go.
Yeah, man.
Thing number 1, it was kind of crazy. The bookmaker, the bookmaker.eu, that sports book I told you about?
Mm-hmm.
I went yesterday, I logged in to place the bets, and where the balance normally is, it was gone. There was no balance. And then I was like, okay. So then I was like refreshing. I tried logging out, logging back in, still wasn't there. Tried to place a bet. It said, oh, you've exceeded the bankroll you have. And so I got on live chat. Yeah, it was broken, dude. It was like actually broken. The whole balance, everybody's balance was gone as far as I know. But for the second thing I have to say, who doesn't do that? Bet openly. I've never had anything screw up on Bet Openly. It's great. And in the month of July, I doubled my freaking account. It's actually so much easier because when you win, you're winning more. And when you lose, you're losing less because you're only paying 1% juice. It's like literally the one most fundamental way to lower the win rate you need in order to break even, which means you're much more likely to win. So definitely go check that out. You're getting ridiculous things like even that Guardians play yesterday. I wouldn't have lost any more, because of the odds, because it was a plus money bet, right? So I had no juice to pay, but I got plus 166 when I paid like 155 at a normal book. So you just get so much better value on almost every play.
Not almost, on every play. I mean, you get on not.
Yeah.
I would say not almost, on every play you get better value.
Yeah.
100%. Just the way that book is configured and how it operates. So, all right, good stuff, Squirrel. Let's have a nice day today. Going to go 3-0 today. Look forward to cashing all these bets today, and look forward to talking more baseball with you guys tomorrow on Wednesday's show. Coming back live at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, previewing a great Wednesday slate in the MLB. Good luck with your bets today, fellas. We'll catch up with you guys tomorrow.
See you later.